When you first enter Collector Pro, you're going to see the main landing page that lists all the accounts in your queue currently. It shows you at the top how many accounts you have in your queue, and that'll start counting down as you work through them. You'll see that you can filter and you can sort your queues. You can sort them by days past due. You could change that to sort by contract number. You could sort by days not worked. And then you could see here the last time the accounts were worked. You could filter it so that you only see accounts that have promise to pays, or you only see accounts that have not been called. So you have some flexibility when you're working in your queues on how you want to work through that queue for the day. So then you have your contract information, customer information, and vehicle information all here on the main page. You also will see if there are any scheduled callbacks for any of the accounts in your queue. You can view those by clicking the alerts button at the bottom of the page. You can see who has callbacks scheduled and when they were created. And from here, if you wanted to, you could print this information, you can edit it, you could work the account by highlighting and clicking work, or you can simply view this and then close it. At the bottom of the screen, you'll also see that you have a Help a Collector button and Next Contract button. The Help a Collector button is here only when you've been assigned to help a fellow collector. So if you have a really light workload, like in my queue I only have 8 accounts today, maybe somebody else has 300 accounts in their queue. So rather than going in and trying to adjust the queue structure, a supervisor could simply assign a second collector to the queue that has a lot of accounts versus 8. You just can assign someone to help that collector in their queue for the day. So if that is what has been done, you'll see Help a Collector as an option down here. If you click that button, it'll take you into that other queue and you can start working those accounts. To access your queue, you'd simply click Next Contract, and this will pull up the first contract in your queue. The top of the page, it'll show you how many accounts you have in your queue, what queue you're in. It'll show this vehicle status or the account status, and then you'll see a timer that is keeping track of how long you've been in this account. So in the right corner, you also have how many times the account's been in collections. You have balance information, and then you have the collector assigned and promise to pay information as well. The customer information is on the left side of your screen. Under that, you have any callbacks, holds, or promise to pays. When those are set on the account, you'll see that information here above the past due banner. You can view hold status. You can see what's going on there. If the customer has expired insurance, that will populate here. And then under that you have your general portal pay information, where you can tell whether or not a customer is a registered portal user. You can reset their password. If you have the text messaging option, you could click here and see the text messaging information. Pending future payments can be viewed by clicking the word pending when it appears in blue. It'll show you a list of all the one-time and recurring future payments that are scheduled or are set up on this account. And then if they have a recurring payment history and have started making payments to that schedule, you could click the word yes that's highlighted in blue and view the success and failure information for all the payments in that schedule. Under that, you have tabs that you're going to use to work the account. You have your contact history tab, which will show you all the calls that have been made or work that's been done on the account. Your work tab, which is where you'll actually go to edit customer information. So if you need to edit customer information, you click View Contact, click Edit, and make your edit to the customer information. Or if you need to edit employment information, you can click Edit Employer, and it'll let you make those updates. Any updates you make in Collector Pro will also be effective in Fusion. So both places will be updated at one time. You also can accept an incoming call from a customer or place an outgoing call to your customer. So that's how you would start working the accounts when you make contact or you attempt to make contact. The invoice tab is going to show you a list of invoices for this account, and you can break that up by repair balance, by payment balance, or other side note balances if there are any. So this is just a repair side note balance. Promise to pay history will show you a list of all the promise to pays that have been set up on an account. The insurance tab will show you insurance information, and if you needed to change that or update policy information, you could click this button and update that, add a new expiration date, or change the company or the agency. So you can do that by clicking change policy info. The user defined is just going to show you user defined information. If you haven't set up any user defined fields in Fusion, then these will be blank just like they are here. And then you have your activity history, which will keep track of all the activity that's taken place on the account. So you can see here there's a hold status, there was a collections call made, there was some kind of work done. So you can scroll through and view all the activity history on the account. If you highlight something, you'll see that the notes, if there are any extra notes, they'll appear here for you to read. And then down here you have screen note and cashier note. This screen note, if you click edit, it will allow you to enter a screen So you could edit that, save that, and then if somebody were working your account, they would be able to see this, and that note is kind of like an internal heads up when they're working your accounts. Cashier note, you could add a cashier note, and this would appear here in Collector Pro, but it would also show up in the take a payment area of Fusion. So if you needed to add a note for cashiers, so don't accept checks from account number 123. You could save that, and that will show up here and in the payment processing area in Fusion, so that cashiers would see not to accept checks from that checking account. So those are internal messages that you can add to accounts. You can't save these or add to them. Every time you want to add a new note, you just click the edit button, delete what you currently have, and then put the updated note or message there. So you can only have one message at a time for each of those. If you do create a screen note, it creates a tag. So if somebody came in to work this account, the next time it opened, they would see the tag pop up along with the promise to pay information. You do have some menus at the top left of your screen. The additional information menu will give you a status screen, which basically summarizes the loan information. You can quote a payoff. You can view the ledgers if you want to see how the payment's posted. You could look at the payment history, print letters, and view any outstanding pickup payments if there are any. The actions menu will allow you to add a promise to pay or remove a promise to pay. You can schedule a callback, create a tag, or remove a tag from the account. If you have pastime codes, you can generate those codes or view the codes that are associated with your account. You could move from this screen into the repo processing screen by clicking repo processing. You can look at the loan payment schedule for a customer, and then we have a customer 360, which will give you a breakdown of the customer's collection history. So you can see, if you open that, you can view by balance how many times a customer has been in each delinquency bucket. You can see how many extensions or deferments you've given them, how many payments you've placed at the end of the note. If you've done any due date changes, it'll show you the total number of days you've moved. It'll also keep track of kept and broken promise to pays, and it'll give you a percentage. So if you're in collections, that's a really good piece of information to have when you're talking to your customer and they're like, yeah, I'll pay you on Friday. You could say, well, you've told me that 10 times and have only followed through twice. And then, so that's right there for you. You can also tell them how many times they've been past due and things like that. You'll get the original maturity date as well as a maturity date after any extensions or deferments if you've done those. So this is the Customer 360. It's in your Actions menu. It's also in several of the Options menus in Fusion, but it's a great snapshot of your customer's collections history. If you're working an account and a customer calls in on your other line, if you need to open another account, you can open another instance by clicking Review Contract at the top of the screen, and it'll allow you to search for another contract and open that as well. You can have a total of 5 contracts open at one time, and all of your open activities will be listed to the right or to the left of your screen. So you can see right now I have this one contract open. If I needed to open another one, then I could open that. It would open the second one up, and you can see it lists it right here. And it tells you it's not from your queue, it's from the review contract area. And then if you're done working that one, you just close it and it'll take you back to your original account you were working. So that's the basic layout of Collector Pro, and we will talk about working the account in another video. So if you're ready for that, then open the working collection accounts video and we'll get into that.